Welcome to the College Investor Audio Show, where we talk about the biggest issues impacting millennial money, from student loan debt to side hustles to building wealth. We will show you how to get out of debt so that you can build real wealth for the future.
Kids are amazing. I have a lot of them. Sometimes, though, the numbers don't add up when it comes to taxes, and so here's how to reconcile your advanced child tax credit payments for 2021. If you have kids, I got 5, like 7 and under. It's crazy. You've potentially received child tax credit payments throughout 2021, but as with all credits, it's understandable to have a lot of questions. For starters, you may not even realize that these payments were in advance on your 2022 tax filing. So as we enter tax filing season, it's an excellent time to explore all of your tax-related questions. In partnership with our friends at H&R Block, let's talk about how to reconcile your advanced child tax credit payments. H&R Block Online is one of our top choices, overall choices for tax software. And they make filing your taxes and reconciling your child tax payments super easy. We have a full review of them at thecollegeinvestor.com. So first of all, let's talk about the child tax credit. It was instituted as a response to kind of ease the financial burdens that parents have faced throughout the pandemic. If you filed tax returns with children in 2019 and 2022, or maybe you signed up to receive a stimulus check from the IRS, then you were automatically enrolled in the monthly child tax credit. However, you could have also opted out as well. You will receive a direct deposit for a monthly portion of this payment in most cases, but if you haven't signed up for direct deposit, you can still choose to have the funds sent via a check in the mail. I got checks for some reason, I don't know. As a parent, you could potentially claim a credit of up to $3,600 per child. That can make a pretty massive impact on anybody's budget. And here's how to reconcile your advanced child tax credit payments. The extra funds hitting your bank account were likely appreciated, but now that it's tax time, you'll need to reconcile any advance credits you may received. So here's a step-by-step guide to help you reconcile your advanced child tax credit payments. Determine the total amount you received. First things first, you're going to need to determine the total amount of advanced child tax credit payments you received in 2021. You can do this by tallying up any advance payments you received throughout the year. It's pretty simple. Simple addition. If you aren't sure how much you received, that's okay. The IRS is going to send out a letter with all the details. So keep an eye out for letter 6419 to find the total amount of your payments distributed to you during 2021. Once you receive that letter, you should keep a copy for your records. Then, determine the amount of child tax credit you can claim. The maximum amount per child is $3,600 per year per child ages 5 and under, but that number drops to $3,000 per year per child ages 6 to 17. In addition to age-related eligibility, your income will impact the amount you're eligible for. This was a little bit tricky for me. The IRS can reduce the credit to $2,000 per child at the following AGI. That just stands for adjusted gross income. If you earn $150,000 filing joint with a spouse or as a qualifying widow or widower, if you earn $112,500 filing as a head of household, if you earn $75,000 as a single filer. The phase-out in eligibility will reduce the credit by $50 for each $1,000 that your AGI exceeds the income threshold. For example, let's say you're a married couple filing jointly with a 2-year-old that earned $151,000 in adjusted gross income. In that case, you would be eligible for $3,550 in child tax credit for 2021. But since the credits were only available from July to December, you'll be able to claim $1,775 in child tax credit for 2021. Additionally, your eligibility can be reduced below $2,000 per child at the following AGI. If you earn $400,000 filing joint with a spouse, if you earn $200,000 filing with any other status. For example, let's say you're a single parent filing with a 1-year-old child that earned $201,000. In that case, You would be eligible for $1,950 in child tax credit for 2021. But since the credits were only available from July to December, you'll be able to claim $975 in child tax credit for 2021. Take a minute to determine what amount of child tax credit your family is eligible for. Then, compare the amounts. With both the amount you received and the amount you're eligible for in hand, you can compare the two numbers. Since the advance payments are based on your tax returns of 2020, it's possible that you received more or less than you were eligible for. Here's what to do in the following situations. I received less than I was eligible for. If you received less than the full amount you're eligible for, you can claim the excess child tax credit on your 2021 tax return. That's it. You'll need to include this information on your return to complete the reconciliation process. I received more than what I was eligible for. The reconciliation process gets a little more complicated if you received more advanced child tax payments than you're eligible for. In some cases, you may need to repay the IRS. Before automatically repaying the difference, stop to explore the repayment protection plan. You may not actually be required to repay some or all of the excess funds you received with repayment protection. You will qualify for full repayment protection if your AGI for 2021 is $60K or less as a married couple, $50,000 or less as head of household, $40,000 or less if you're a single filer. You will not qualify for repayment protection of any kind if your AGI for 2021 is $120,000 or more as a married couple or qualified widow or widower, $100K or more as head of household, $80,000 or more for single filers. You can receive up to $4,000 in repayment protection, but it's a good idea to consult with a tax professional just to confirm your eligibility for the repayment protection program. Does all of that sound a little bit confusing? Doesn't have to be. H&R Block Online makes reconciling your advanced child tax credit payments very simple. They'll just ask you a few questions about how much you received, and then they take care of the calculations to see exactly how much you might get back in your refund. Or, if you overpaid. You can check out our full review again. It's at thecollegeinvestor.com. And here's what to consider for 2022, by the way. As of December 2021, the child tax credit has not been extended into 2022. If the Build Back Better spending bill, say that 5 times fast, passes to reinstate the program, then you'll need to follow a similar reconciliation process in 2022. Keep in mind, though, that changes in filing status and income can significantly impact your eligibility for the child tax credit. And then once you finish your tax return with H&R Block, you can have a better picture of your tax situation and decide if you still want to receive advanced child tax credits should they end up being extended into 2022. Remember, if you were overpaid, you'll have to pay it back. So finishing your tax return early can also help you budget if you end up owing the IRS. You can get started with H&R Block at thecollegeinvestor.com. Here's the bottom line from all of this. Doing your taxes is likely not your favorite chore. Although the child tax credit may have helped your budget, it could make your taxes a little bit more complicated to file. So as you go through the process, consider using our friends at H&R Block Online. They can just kind of help you breeze through tax filing in no time, even with complicated situations like the advanced child tax credit. Again, everything you need to know and more is at thecollegeinvestor.com. Thanks again for stopping by today. We'll talk to you again real soon.